There's this constant pressure weighing down on every visionary, every founder, every leader sitting right now, wondering if the world of capitalism even got a seat at the table for them. The grind never stops. The endless meetings, the pitches that feel like shouting into a void that barely listens. The rules piled up so high, it feels like they weren't made for you, more like made to stop you. Because here's the brutal truth. Capitalism, as most know it, tends to reward the safe bets, the comfortable plans, the guys who play by the old, boring rules. But the true visionaries? The ones who dream 10 steps beyond, who grasp the invisible, who imagine futures no one else even dares whisper about? They keep hitting walls. The system pushes back hard because it's built for predictability, conformity, and control, not wild ideas and rebels. And that pressure? It's not just external. It's ripping at the core of your soul, the gnawing feeling that maybe you're losing parts of yourself competing in this game. That burning frustration when the fire in your gut meets the cold grid of how things are done. You can taste it in every rejected proposal. Feel it in every meeting where your passion is met with boredom or confusion. The pain comes from that gnawing disconnect between who you are, who you could be, and where the system's willing to take you. The system asks for compromises, for fits in a box, but you weren't born to be a checkbox. You were born to break them. So what if there was a version of capitalism built for visionaries? One that doesn't suffocate your ideas with bureaucracy or choke your spirit with tradition? What if this capitalism saw you for the rare spark you are, instead of just one more number in the profit column? Not just a player on the board, but the player who redefines the board altogether. This capitalism doesn't beg you to lower your standards or play it safe. It demands more from everyone, not compliance, but sovereignty. Here's the kicker. It's not about tearing the old system down piece by piece. It's about building alongside it something new that blends freedom with focus, power with purpose. It whispers freedom, but backs that whisper with hard lines. Your will is your weapon, and only those burning bright enough can wield it. Imagine a world where your radical ideas don't just survive, they thrive because they connect you to others who burn like you do. Not watered-down networks, filled with noise and hollow contacts, but fierce, razor-sharp alliances where every connection is a catalyst. Where misaligned genius meets in a place designed from the ground up for wild thinkers, oddballs, and the unapologetically ambitious. This isn't about fitting in, it's about standing out powerfully, loudly, and unapologetically. Think about the isolation you've felt, the whispers of doubt that creep in when the system tosses you aside like a misfit. It's not because you lack brilliance. It's because the world wasn't built to catch your kind when you fall. Not until now. The infrastructure for the exceptional? It's being built today, around the idea that you don't have to play by outdated rules or wait for permission to shine. It's a place where the rare become a collective force, where isolation breaks down and explosive collaboration begins. But the path isn't easy. This new capitalism demands nothing less than full sovereignty. It calls on you to question everything, the assumptions, the traditions, the truths everyone's been fed since birth. It's ruthless, it's raw, but it's fair. Because this is the kind of freedom that bites before it frees. The freedom of owning your will, your choices, your future, without any crutches, without any safety nets. Here's where most stumble: the temptation to seek quick wins, to settle for the short game, to chase applause rather than purpose. But true transformation, the kind that reshapes industries and rewires economies, is a long, lonely fight. Eternity favors the long game. This capitalism, the kind made for visionaries, teaches patience like a warrior's discipline. It's the slow burn of strategy and the relentless pursuit of meaning over momentary success. It's about aligning with the few who are willing to bleed and burn alongside you, not the many who want to sleepwalk through life. And what about the pain of being misunderstood? The crushing loneliness of blazing trails no one else sees? This new model doesn't just tolerate your difference, it celebrates it. It knows that your contradictions, your quirks, your rebellious nature aren't obstacles. They are the building blocks of revolution. In fact, it needs those contrasts because through individuality comes unity. Through the few comes freedom for the many. If you feel that tight knot inside, the one that says living a borrowed life is no longer an option, that silence in your chest screaming to unleash something vast and untamed, this is your call. This isn't a pep talk or a feel-good story. It's a declaration, a brutal, beautiful rebellion against the world's comfort zones and easy lies. If you want capitalism that swallows your fire and spits it out cold, this isn't for you. But if you're ready to carve a path where none existed, ready to refuse being a cog and instead become the spark, then welcome. This is where misaligned brilliance finds alignment, where misunderstood heroes connect with partners who don't just tolerate your vision, but fuel it, where investors don't ask you to dim your light, but hand you the tools to ignite the sky, where founders don't battle alone, but are woven into a network of power and purpose that propels everyone forward. This capitalism recognizes one truth above all: progress isn't born in the center, but thrives at the edges. It's the edge dwellers, the ones who burn brighter, who think deeper, who dare more, that push humanity forward. And so the system's center may cling to its old rules and comforts, but the real revolution is unfolding out there, crafted by those willing to ask the hard questions, willing to be patient, selective, and radically free. No shortcuts, no easy roads, no empty promises, only the raw, unfiltered power of visionaries unleashing themselves. This isn't about comfort, it's about becoming. It's about taking the raw, wild energy inside you, the frustration, the pain, the hunger, and channeling it into something that not only breaks chains, but rewrites the whole story. Imagine the freedom of sovereignty, the unmatched power of being surrounded by the few who see your fire and refuse to let it die. Imagine a version of capitalism that stops punishing difference and begins amplifying essence. The true frontier for anyone who refuses to settle is here. Not in the familiar, not in the safe, but in the bold interplay of sovereignty, connection, and relentless transformation. If this message hits a chord in your restless heart, if it lights even a small flame of rebellion inside, then this is your army calling. This is the soil where wild seeds grow into towering legacies. This is capitalism made for you, the dreamers, the doers, the misfits who refuse to be tamed. Your time isn't just coming, it's already here. Unlock your will, find your network, build the future only you can see. Because the world can't wait for the next version. It can only survive through the one you dare to create.